Hello everyone, how's it going, and welcome back to the channel. As you can see, we finally did it. We hit Masters last night on stream. It was a crazy experience. We played solo queue in our promos. We lost the first one. I think it was 1 win and 3 losses, but then in the second promotions we won the series 3 and 2. What I'm going to show you guys today is a replay of our 5th and final game in the promotion series, and it was a banger, to say the least. It was insane, the type of game it was. And I hope you guys watch it all. What I'll be doing, I'll be going through all my decisions, what you should be looking out for in your elos, and how I can help you reach the rank that you want to reach at the end of the season. So I hope you enjoy. Let's get into the replay. And here we go. Let's head straight into the replay. A few things to note before I go into this. In terms of my build this game, I knew that I wanted to build Blade of Rune King first item. You know that there's going to be 3 tanks on their team, maybe even more. The Jarvan, the Nasus, and the Alistar. And Blade of Rune King does % health damage, so it will really help against all of them. And it will also help Kite, because there's a lot of melee champions on the enemy team. The Blade of Rune King being able to steal the movement speed is really, really helpful. And then after that, we'll go into the Infinity Edge and the Runer's Hurricane. The main thing to note is that when you don't want to build Blade of Rune King is when there's not really a lot of tanks on the enemy team. When you've got a lot of squishy targets on the enemy team, you can skip out the Blade of Rune King completely, and you can just go for Infinity Edge into Runer's Hurricane and then start building your damage items and kind of skip Blade of Rune King. Another thing to note, we have a Malphite on our team, and the Malphite is against a full AD damage comp, attack damage comp. And what that means is that Malphite should be building full armor. That's the main thing you need to note with Malphite, is that you see a lot of people building damage on Malphite, but in this game, you know that Malphite should build full armor straight away. You know that they're going to be building all attack damage, so Malphite is basically going to be unkillable at the end of the game. That's one thing to note. The next thing to note as well is that obviously we're against a Kai'Sa Alistar lane. If this was like Misfortune Alistar, it'd probably be quite a difficult game for us, but with Lulu as your support, you need to know when you can't go in and when you can, because against an Alistar can have opportunities to go in against a Lulu, especially at level 2 if the Lulu doesn't take polymorph, and you can actually run out trades really, really easily. At the start here, we're just chilling. We're just going to farm up here, just emoting to each other. But yeah, this was game 5, so you can probably tell this game was going to be very, very intense for me. I was kind of shaking at this point on the stream, and it was riding high. It was definitely riding high. We knew that Jarvan started topside there because we got a bit of vision from the Orianna, so we know that we're safe now. The Jarvan's going to be going from top side all the way down to bot side, and Alistar got a bit of a late start, which actually helped us a lot. Alistar actually helping the Jarvan there helped us be a bit more safer in this lane, because we hit level 2 before they do, and Alistar doesn't have level 2 to actually engage onto the Lulu. There's kind of I would say, a pretty much big mistake from the Alistar. With an Alistar lane, if you're against a Lulu, you want to try and get that level 2 as soon as possible to be able to get that headbutt pulverize combo and try and get that big, massive amount of damage. See a bit of a trade happening in the bot lane here. As you can see, Malphite has gone for the armor start, so Malphite is going to be building full armor this game, which he actually does. You see, there's a bit of a craziness happening in the bot side of the map. Lee Sin gets a big chunk of damage on the Jarvan. This is a great thing about Lee Sin, is that Lee Sin does a lot of damage. Malphite has the pushing lane as well, so Malphite can come and help out. Lee Sin does really, really well here to survive. I think Lee Sin actually dies here, but Orianna flashes away, and Malphite is just killing everyone at the moment. So that's one thing to note about if you're playing jungle. When you're contesting for these scuttle crabs, you need to see what your lane priority is. The bot lane was being pushed by Malphite, and Nasus was going to be late to the fight. The mid lane, Orianna has to push against Yasuo, unless Yasuo somehow all-ins and completely clears the whole wave before the scuttle crab. The Jarvan actually made a huge, huge mistake there, especially because Jarvan doesn't really go well into Lee Sin in the early game. Lee Sin has a lot more damage. So when you're playing jungle, just make sure that when you're going for these scuttle crabs, or when you're going for these invades or anything, have a look at your lane priorities. Do you have priority in the bot lane? Do you have priority in the mid lane? Where's the lane pushed in? Because if your team, or if your mid laner is pushed into the tower, your mid lane is not going to be able to move. They're not going to move and miss a whole wave of minions, which is a lot of XP and a lot of gold in Wild Rift compared to normal league. Compared to, or like I said, compared to normal league. They're not going to miss out the whole wave to come and help you with the Scuttle Crab. So obviously Jarvan should have realised there that Malphite was pushed in bot and Orianna was pushed in mid. So Lee Sin could get help before the Jarvan, which is why they won the 3-for-1 trade. So not a bad start. We got a couple of kills on the Malphite, and we're in a pretty strong spot. Lulu actually gets completely caught out here, and yeah. This is the thing. I didn't actually kill the Alistar there because he had his ultimate. But Lulu should never step up there. She should realize how low I am on HP. Obviously, I got a bit poked out by the Kai'Sa, and obviously there's a bit of a fight happening down here as well. And again, this is another thing about lane priorities. Lee Sin came to try and gank or to try and help us, or to try and get the Scuttle Crab in the river bush. But Lulu's just died. I'm on half HP. I can't go and help. Lulu's already dead because she got caught. And Orianna and Lee Sin tried to help us gank top lane. And obviously we're at a numbers disadvantage, sorry. So we can't actually do anything to help out. Like, in a situation there, I can't walk up and I can't help the jungler. Because if I get caught, then I'm just going to die as well. Especially because I'm half HP. So a few mistakes on that behalf. Like I said, Lulu should never walk up against a Alistar, especially if I'm like sitting under tower, because if you do get comboed, you can die as a Lulu. You are very squishy as a Lulu. Like I said, that was a good advantage there for the Alistar to go into on the Lulu and to actually get that advantage. So we're going mid lane here. It's a bit of a scrap happening in the mid lane. Again, we get a dead target, unfortunately, and it's a little bit of a scrap. The dragon's up at the moment, so there's a bit of fighting and everything happening, and this is a problem now because we are now behind. We know that we are behind. And what we're doing here, we're just making sure that they can't get the dragon. But obviously, this whole time that Malphite's top, Nasus is getting a free farm down in his bottom lane. And we can't do anything. He's ultied. He's probably going to get a first tower. And we're not getting anything here. We're not getting anything in this lane. But the problem is that we can't do dragon because Lee Sin's gone down bottom lane. For some strange reason, Lee Sin went down bottom lane. And we're now stuck in this team fight situation. Like, he gets caught, we don't get a kill onto dragon, we're still doing dragon, and then everything's just popping off now. Try and get a few bits of damage down, but obviously, like I said, we're behind in gold. I don't have the damage at the moment to actually do anything, and obviously, they get a full ace. Nasus this whole time is pushing down bot lane, and they get the dragon. So in that situation, you have to think to yourself, it's like, was we in the lead? No, we wasn't in the lead. Did we have a numbers advantage or disadvantage? No, we didn't. Because Lee Sin went down bottom lane when he came back alive. He didn't come straight to Drake. So we was actually in a disadvantage. They had 4 people. We had 3 people. But the problem was that Malphite roamed up to try and get the dragon. But we didn't get anything for it. Nasa's got free farm in the bot lane. And yeah, it was it was pretty nasty at that time. As you can see, we're pretty much 8k down in gold, which is a lot for this stage of the game, only 6 minutes in. As you can see, Lee Sin is just, yeah, you hate to see it. I mean, I had no idea what he was doing there at all. I've got no words, unfortunately. Jarvan comes in as well. I had to flash away because of the Jarvan knockup. You have to kind of flash in time to make sure Jarvan doesn't knock you up, which I did quite well. And yeah, you can tell from this point on that things were not looking good. The Lee Sin kind of ran it down, I guess you could say. Kind of run it under tower for no reason. But yeah, it's at the moment it's kind of a jungle diffy at the moment. Lee Sin, like I said, kind of run it down. You should never go bot side as a jungler, especially when a fight is happening in Dragon or when Dragon's up. Because Dragons are actually really, really important in Wild Rift. As you can normally tell from my streams and from these replays, in the higher elo, when the dragon respawns, everyone is there straight away. Unless it's like a Nasus, for example, that just split pushes all the time. But if you have a team fight comp, like the Orianna, like the Malphite, you want to group around dragon, you want to try and get the team fights. What happened was that Lee Sin got caught, oh no, sorry, I think it was Orianna that actually got caught in the mid lane, because Lee Sin was bot side. As you can tell here, yeah, everything is just going horribly. Tower dive bot lane. Malphite ultis in. Orianna ultis herself. And yeah, it's looking pretty glim at the moment. I don't think Malphite should have TP'd there. I don't think there was any reason at all for Malphite to TP. Lee Sin's flashing randomly. Orianna's getting caught in the mid here as well. I think she tries to get a kill onto Jarvan. Yeah, nearly gets a kill onto Jarvan, but unfortunately not. And as you can tell, at this point, it is not looking good. Lee Sin somehow, I think, survives here. Oh no, I don't think he does survive. He goes back and tries to kill them. And Nasa survives as well. So yeah, it's a pretty tough situation at the moment, but in this situation you got to realise that anything can happen. We're 11,000 gold behind, which is pretty disgusting at this point of the game. The problem was that we got tower dive top lane. Like, I don't think we had vision at the time. We didn't know they were going to tower dive, which is fair enough. I tried to back off. I think I had to flash away, which was completely fine. The problem was that when Lulu already died, Malphite TP'd, Orianna came top. People, I guess you kind of have to realize when a fight is lost and when you can't win a fight. What happens sometimes in this game is that you see that people just fight over and over again. They don't take into consideration how behind you are. Is it worth it? You know, you have to take all these things in consideration. Like, are we at a numbers advantage or anything like that? Especially when, like, dragon fights happen. Oh, do we have a better team fight comp? Which, to be fair, in this game, we do have a really good team fight comp. Obviously, I'll try and get a kill here on the mid lane. I think everything, yeah, as you can tell, everything's breaking loose. Our jungler's dead, the Malphite's dead. I think the Orianna dies here as well. No, I don't think he actually dies. Oh no, she does die, yeah. As you can tell, it's not looking too good. We're now 12,000 gold behind. Yeah, you can tell that everything is kind of going off the charts at the moment. I think Kai'Sa actually dies here and I get shut down. I can't remember. I think I actually flash for this. Oh, I heal, yeah. I heal for it. So I get a nice little shutdown there. As you can tell from my build at the moment, we got the Bloody Rune King. We're now working towards the Infinity Edge. Obviously, there are going to be a lot of tanky people on this team. You've got the Jarvan, which is already building Black Cleaver, and also going to be building, it looks like, into Steric's Gauge. You got the Nasus, which at the moment he's building Magic Resist. Not really too sure why. I think for the Orianna and for the AP damage from Malphite. But yeah, you can still see that already they're starting to build a lot of health. They're starting to build a lot of tankiness. We just need to, at this point, you basically just need to sit back. You need to relax. Let them have the dragons. Let them have everything that you possibly can get. And yeah, as you can tell, we're 12,000 gold behind, so it's looking pretty glim at the moment. But I know that at the end of the day, we have the Jinx Lulu, we have the Malphite, which is going to be building full armor for the whole game. So Malphite, like I said, is going to be pretty much unkillable. They try and go for engage here. And, like, as you can see, I'm doing no damage at the moment, unfortunately. I don't have any of my items. But they kind of run it down. For some reason, they're going for these crazy engages, trying to run in, trying to get these kills, when really they could just be going towards Baron at the moment. They could just be contesting Baron and just taking it for free, pretty much, because we can't go into them. If we engage onto them, then they're just going to kill us straight away. But they dive underneath towers, they use some crazy strats. And at this point in the game, I'm thinking, look, if they keep doing that, if they keep diving onto us, then we can actually win this game. Obviously, got a little bit unlucky here with a tower dive. The Jarvan actually used, I think it was, yeah, the Zhonya's, and dived in. But again, Orianna got a double kill. So we traded one death, which was mine, for 2 kills on the Orianna. So things are not looking too bad. I mean, obviously we're very, very behind on gold still, but things are not looking too bad. The Orianna has 5 kills. She has a Seraph's Embrace. She has a Liandry's. I'm starting to stack up. I got my Bloody Rune King. I got my Infinity Edge. You can see that this game as well, I've gone Ninja Tabbies. You have to kind of adapt again to what the game state is. I realised that they have a lot of AD damage, so I go Ninja Tabbies instead of going like Mercury Treads or the Lifesteal Boots or something like that. You see here again, another fight is happening in this crazy scenario, and they keep fighting. They keep getting caught. In these situations, you just don't need to fight. Lee Sin kind of kicks them away there, which is kind of interesting. You can see I'm starting to do a lot of damage now. I have my Infinity Edge, I have my crits, and I'm starting to do a lot of damage, and they still keep fighting for some reason, which I don't really know why. The thing is, in this situation, when you're ahead, you need to... This is like the worst thing you can do when you're ahead. They're trying to like be... I guess you can call it desperate in terms of the engages. They're trying to run in. They're trying to... Sorry. They're trying to get a kills advantage, but the problem is that they're running into blind division and they're not grouping up as a team. They're going in one by one at the moment. Malphite gets a little bit caught here. I think he actually dies for it, yeah. Which is a little bit unfortunate that Malphite got caught there. I think he was trying to get vision on the dragon because it's Infernal Drake. But it's one of them things where if you're ahead on gold, you have to realize as a team that you need to stay grouped. You need to use these objectives as like a bait sort of thing. So you can start up the Baron, you can start these up, and you can say to like our team, you say, look, you have to engage onto us or we're going to get Baron, we're going to push your lane as 5, and we're going to end the game. But what they were doing, they kept on invading to jungle, they kept on pushing in, and they weren't doing anything at all. As you can tell, what I said earlier, Malphite is going full armor, going for the Iceborne, going for the Thornmail. They're going for Baron right now, which I think they do get. Oh no, this is where they steal it. So this is where Orianna steals the Baron, which again was, I guess, really, really well played by the Orianna. But you should never really lose in a smite fight, especially when it's 4v5 as well. And you can tell right now that we're looking really, really strong. We've got the Baron. We won the team fight as well. And we're in a strong spot now. We're scaling, which is the main thing. We have a Malphite going full armor, going to be unkillable. We have a Jinx Lulu, which is probably one of the biggest scaling bot laners. We have an Orianna, which is now doing crazy amount of damage. Probably nearly has her death cap. And what happens here is that, for some reason, they go for Baron here, and they risk the 50-50 Baron, instead of just waiting for Dragon. In this situation, I would have said to my team, I was like, look, let's just wait for Dragon to come up. Dragon's like kind of a safer option than Baron. And with Dragon, obviously it's Infernal Dragon as well. And things like this can happen. You can lose 50-50 team fights, 50-50 smites. Or you can lose the smite war. And then it's pretty much over because we steal the Baron here. And we actually get a lot of time to ourselves now. We get more time to farm up. We got more time to get items. As you can see, we're not actually going to go Runa's Hurricane this game. We've gone for the Mortal Reminder 3rd item. We've got the Yasuo, which is going to be dealing, which is going to be healing a lot. Nasus has inbuilt healing as well. They're going to be building a lot of armor. As I said before, they've got 3 really big tanks. They got Dead Man's Plate on the Jarvan. They got Nasus, which has got Dead Man's Plate, and they got Alistar, which has got Dead Man's Plate. So I realize this game, I don't really need the spread damage that much. Like, Runa's Hurricane is kind of a core item on Jinx. But in this game, I realized that I need to get the armor penetration. I need to help the team. Because at the moment, we have no healing reduction. We have no Morellonomicon. We have the Thornmail on the Nasus, which is pretty good for healing reduction. But I know now that I need to start dealing a lot of damage. I need to start trying to carry these team fights. And as you can tell, we're not doing too bad. We're still 10,000 gold behind. As I said, with our comp, we're scaling. We're making sure that we can get into them 5v5 team fights. And the thing that we do really, really well here is we stay grouped. We stay as 5, which unfortunately they didn't. They didn't actually group as 5 at all. So it's really, really hard for them to actually engage and do something when they're not 5, really. They're not as 5 people. So in this situation, again, we're just farming up at the moment. We're just waiting for everything. I'm just telling my team right now, it's like, look, we can win this. We can actually win this game. We just need to make sure we farm up. Make sure that we get our items. And all we need is really 1 or 2 more. Excuse me. All we need really is 1 or 2 more team fights. And we win the game, pretty much. We're at the stage of the game now where the death timers are really, really long. So if we're able to win 1 or 2 more team fights, we can push down mid and we can potentially end the game. Obviously, they go down mid here. Malphite gets an insane ultimate here. And I think Orianna also gets a really good ultimate. They all walk on to the shockwave. And Orianna gets... I'm pretty sure this is the fight where... Yeah, Orianna gets a huge shockwave. I get a kill as well. So I'm like, at this point, look, we're winning the team fight. We're grouping as 5. Malphite gets a huge ultimate off. And at this point, I'm like, we can win the game. We can actually win this game. They weren't really focusing onto me. They were focusing onto the Malphite. And obviously, Malphite at this point has full armor. He's unkillable. Now, this is where I want to mention something before this carries on. You can see at the moment that me and Malphite are pushing down mid and Orianna leasing going for the Baron. This is not a bad play, to say the least. but you should always prioritize getting the base before getting Baron. Reason being is that inhibitors don't respawn. Like these inhibitor towers up here that spawn the super minions, these ones, they don't respawn. They're not like Baron or anything that can respawn, and or they're not temporary like Baron. Inhibitors are a permanent thing in Wild Rift, and what happens is that if you push down one of these turrets, and if you get the turret, then they will have infinite super minions pushing down that lane. So what happens is that over time, that lane will be pushing over and over again. So you have a lane where they have to defend all the time. So you always have that advantage. So if you're ever in a situation where you're like, should I go for inhibitor or should I go for Baron? You go for the inhibitor 100%. I mean, like I said, in this situation, we get the Baron and we get the inhibitor because we killed pretty much their whole team. So this situation, it was quite alright. But when it's a situation when it's like 50-50 in terms of, oh, we can get Baron or we can quickly get inhibitor, 100% go for the inhibitor because, like I said, them super minions will keep spawning down. Like I said, these super minions will now keep spawning down this mid lane. And they won't have super minions at all. So this lane in mid lane now is constantly going to be pushed. And they're going to have to defend mid lane the whole time. With Baron, it's okay. Like, if you can push a lane and if you feel like you can win fights and everything, then Baron is really, really good. Because you can push down lanes and everything. But in this situation, we can't really push lanes because technically we're still behind on gold. We have a really good team fight comp and everything, but technically we're still behind on gold and it's not looking too great still. I mean, we have the Jinx lulu now, and we have the Malphite full armor, we have the Orianna, and it's looking pretty good now. But yeah, as I said, 100% go for inhibitor instead of the Baron in situations. As you can tell with our build as well, we've actually gone for GA as our fourth item. We still haven't brought Haruna's Hurricane. And I think this GA is actually what actually won us the fight in this round. GA again gives armor, so it's really good against their comp, and it actually keeps me alive during this fight. You can see here that I kind of make a mistake. I don't really know where the whole team is. I get caught here, but Lulu gets a really, really good ultimate, and at this point, they can't really do anything to our whole team. As you can see, Malphite is taking all the damage at the moment, and they can't do anything. I'm in GA at the moment. I'm staying alive. Malphite is still alive on half HP. We get the reset on the Nasus. We get the reset on the Yasuo. And at this point, we're like, GG. The game is over. We fucking did it. We fucking did it. We fucking did it. Boom. End the... What? Ori is a god. Ori is a god. End the game. Chat, we fucking did it. Oh my god, we did it. We fucking... How? 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 Oh my god, we did it. Oh my... Oh my god, we did it. We actually did it. Oh my god. I cannot believe it, chat. Give it to me. Give it to me. Oh my god. As you can see, the early game looked crazy. We were like 12,000, 13,000 gold behind. But you just got to stick together. You got to stay positive and stay grouped. That's the main thing you need to know when you're losing. If you stay grouped, you have to kind of wait until the enemy team makes mistakes. You can't really engage when you're behind. But sit back, relax, just wait for them to make mistakes. In this game, the enemy team made a lot of mistakes trying to engage onto us. And as you can tell, our team comp was just a lot better than theirs. Yeah, thank you all for tuning in to the replay. Hope you all enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And as I said, we'll be going for top 200 now, sorry, on the stream. So I'll leave the stream link down in the description. And yeah, hopefully we can reach Grandmaster very, very soon. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all very soon. Take care.